Virgil Kane is the name, and I rode on the Damsel train. So much cavalry came and tore up the tracks again. In the winter of '65, we're hungry, just barely alive. Took a train to Richmond Hill. It was a time I remember oh so well. The night they drove old Dixie down. All the bells were ringing. The night they drove old Dixie down. And all the people were singing. They went, na 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 na. Na 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 na. It's my life in Tennessee. And one day she said to me, Virgil, quick, come see. And there goes the Robert E. Lee. I'm in wood, and I don't mind if the money's no good. Take what you need and leave the rest. But you should never have taken the very best. Night they drove old Dixie down. The night they drove old Dixie down. And all the bells were ringing. La na 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 na. My father before me, I'm a working man. Like my brother before me, I took a rebel stand. He was just 18, proud and brave, when a Yankee laid him in his grave. Say by the field of sweet, you can't raise the cane back up when it's in the sea. Fucking great. I don't know why I love it's just a great song. I'm keeping my grandma in the background because it makes me happy. So you saw the sign. I mean, here's the fact. Okay. Can we please understand me when I couldn't be more for reform. I couldn't be more behind the fact that Black, especially men, but Black adults and teenagers have been victimized and gone after and God damn it, I'm running out. I fucking can't. Everything. There's stereotyped. The whole profile, all of it. It all's happened. I've never thought it wasn't happening. I've never been a denier of it. I've never been like, oh, well, if they just pull up their pants. I've never thought any of that. I know that in every situation, sometimes people are committing crimes. Sometimes people are doing things that are wrong or causing the problem. A lot of times, but also sometimes they're not. And in a lot of these situations, I get they're being victimized. So we have victory. We have victory. We have made a stand. We have made a point. The problem is a lot of people have gotten involved, a lot of organizations, groups. The scary thing about groups and organizations is they always tend to be connected to people with money or influence. Then the people with money and influence always seem to get to put their hands in it. You know what I'm saying? And then deals are made. Negotiations. Who gets to sit where and who gets, like Nipsey Hussle's funeral. Who got to be where and who got to say what. It was all negotiations. And the family was blown aside. And it was all about people. And that's what, all about people's careers and stuff like that. And that's what I'm afraid this is going to become. We have victory. We need a plan now. See, defunding the cops. Are you stupid? Have you never seen Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome? Have you never seen any Wesley Snipes movie in the last 7 to 10 years? Have you not seen 9 million other movies where you don't defund the fucking cops? Put cameras all over them. Have people live watching, meaning like watchdogs, so to speak, that watch the police on different monitors and stuff. Have that going on. Have it to where they can cut in and go, you're being way too rough. That's not procedure. That's illegal. Do all this stuff. Add insanity measures to watch the police and guide the police. Do not defund the police. Do not keep firing and prosecuting police officers for doing stuff that's been going on forever. Retrain them. Get rid of the ones that aren't okay with retraining. Get rid of the ones that don't want to be a part of change. But you have to remember there are a lot of fucking dangerous people out there. There's a lot of people that'll kill you in a second. A lot of fucking rednecks getting their fucking meth heads, getting their fucking guns ready right now. A lot of fucking redneck hat wearing, backward hat wearing, long haired, one tooth motherfuckers cocking shotguns right now going, there ain't no law. Johnny Law is gone. And I got an AK-47. I believe I like that bank right there. And you got to understand that the cops are going to walk the fuck away. Nobody's going to want to be a cop if farting wrong is going to throw you in jail. Again, this dude, the guy who Chauvin, who went out, who got Floyd, he deserves jail forever. I hope he dies in jail. I hope they kill him or he kills himself. The guy's a piece of shit. Yeah, we're not talking about him. We're talking about like in these situations, cops are being like nailed to a degree now. How about the middle ground where we watch them? Yeah, CCTV. Mimi, how you doing, love? I'm so glad you're back. Yeah, we need. I've been saying this forever. Cameras, cameras, cameras. Listen, guys, I was screaming. The fact that fucking George Zimmerman's still alive is a blight on activism. Is a blight on if there's any Black Panthers, though, it's a blight that Zimmerman lives, walks the earth. He should be dead. I feel that way. I honestly feel that way, that somebody should take this motherfucker out. But I believe that because he ended that kid's life purely because he was Black. I don't doubt that. I've never doubted that. I don't think no matter what that Trayvon had a killing coming. No matter what could have been thought of, he didn't have a getting shot coming. And so that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of these things, they didn't have a getting shot coming. That's why the protests, that's the things. People aren't watching videos of a Black man pulling a gun like this on the cops and the cops blow them away. And they're going, that's wrong. No. They're watching videos of unarmed men being shot by cops or killed by cops or choked out by cops. And they're unarmed. You see, I know they can do damage. I know they're big. Someone like George is big. The other guy, the Michael Duke, was big. I know that doesn't matter. That's not an excuse to kill him. You see, that's not. And so that's what I'm saying is there's different. We have to camera up everywhere. Yeah. Oh, Mimi. I am an advocate. I am one teacher who has been an advocate for cameras in the classroom forever. I want so many cameras in the classroom. Trust me. Watch it. You guys are at home with your kids right now. You know how some of your kids are. I would be thrilled for you to see what a lot of these teachers go through every day with your kid. And when your kid comes home and says this different story, but you just watched them on video. That's some badass shit. Yeah, no. I don't have problems in my classroom. I don't have problems, and I don't do anything inappropriate, ever, knock on wood. I don't ever do anything inappropriate. So I don't care. I want cameras. I don't do inappropriate shit on the streets. So I want cameras on every corner. Up and down the streets, I want cameras. Camera up everything that's not private. Don't camera up my property. Don't camera up private properties. Don't go into clubs and stuff like that. Fuck no. Camera up the streets like a motherfucker. Camera up the parks like crazy. That was Mike Tyson. Do it. Listen. Do me a favor. You camera up the TVs, camera up the parks. These kids, they can't be defending themselves. But no. You camera up all the parks and everything else. You camera up everything. You want to take that 250 million away from cops? Fine. Do it. Get drones and camera the fuck out of everything. There you go. You know, Mimi, you know who's upset about fucking closed circuit TV on public grounds? Freaks, wackos, kitty porn, child traffickers, drug dealers, shit like that, pimps. Those are the type of people who are upset about CCTV. The dirty ass people, the pedophiles, the people like that, the ones that are getting hookers but are doing dirty shit, so they're embarrassed about getting hookers. See, I do normal fuck. If I get a hooker, it's normal. I mean, I haven't gotten a hooker in decades. But if I do, and I'm getting really close, I got to be goddamn honest. I'm telling you, I'm losing it to the point where I'm calling exes. What are you doing? But yeah, no, I'm with you, Mimi. I don't get why I don't know why anybody would be mad about closed circuit TV. I love closed circuit TV. Fucking light up everything, man. Let's watch it all. Make everything safe. Make it safe for kids. Make it safe for men and women. Make it safe for everyone. Light it up with cameras. Let's know who's doing what. Let's know what the cops are doing. Let's know what the people are doing. Let's know what the crooks are doing in public. In public, what does it matter? How's it going to hurt you? What are they going to catch you doing? Picking your nose? So what? So what? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, all we have to do is make sure we protect the fact that you can't be on private property. You can't point toward private property. That's all. You can't be in bathrooms. But I want fucking cameras right at the bathroom doors. That's what I'm saying. I'm possibly thinking about opening a school. If I do open a school, there will be cameras fucking everywhere. I'm not everywhere. There will be cameras because it saves everyone. Anyone who, am I losing my hair? It's really driving me crazy. I feel like I'm losing my hair. Anyway, if I start school, there will be cameras everywhere except in the bathroom. But there will be cameras right at the bathroom door. So you'll know who went in and who came out and how long they were in there and all that shit. You'll never be able to see in, and there'll be cameras everywhere. So if this question, but the protests are going on insane behind me. Like wild shit. Like this was one of the biggest protests ever right here. Yeah, COVID-19. No, not yet. No, I want to be. I'd like to be. I'm a bit high. Like I got some good weed. Like the kind of weed when you smoke it. So I got the kind of weed when you smoke it and you're just like, yeah, man. Okay, bro, here's the thing. Okay, where you become this guy, where you're like, hey, bro, check this out, bro, check this out, bro. Okay, so think of this. Imagine, like, okay, so you get all these protesters, right? And then everyone rides a bicycle, right? That you hook up to like solar power, right? I am going to look that up because I want to know exactly what it is. Hold on. Guess what it is. No, I don't see. This is the thing is I don't give a fuck about Donald Trump. Like, to be totally honest. Yeah, no. Let me explain something. Trump's a fucking rich cunt piece of shit. I could care less about Trump. He doesn't mean fuck to me. When he said the thing, I know some of the things he says bug me a lot. And some of the things he does I like. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that it's set up to overthrow Donald Trump because I don't think he's that important in that sense. Like, I personally, honestly, Mimi, I honestly am really starting to believe that Trump and Pelosi and Hillary and all of them are together. I believe I was right in the first place. And I honestly believe that Trump, Hillary, Biden, all these people are together. Keep in mind, right now, you have people marching the streets for Black Lives Matters, and our two choices for president are the whitest, most racist motherfuckers in the world. And I don't even think Trump is 1/10 the racist Biden is. Trump will bang any nationality or whatever, and he'll loan money and do business with anybody because he's about money and greed and money, and grabbing puss. I mean, but Biden is a tried and true racist. And so right now you got millions of people marching, and we have two choices for president. Two old white dudes. Think about that. Like, think for a second. Your choices for president are two old white dudes. You think there's nothing going on? I mean, would you really? I don't know this QAnon or whatever the hell that is. I don't deal with these groups are idiots. Every goddamn group. That's what I'm saying. All the groups are idiots because somebody always wants to make money, and if there's a man involved in charge, well, he always wants to fuck everybody's wife. That's the way it works. See, all these groups, they want all your money and they want to fuck everybody's wife. That's the way the group. And if it's just a woman involved, well, she just wants to kill all the men. And that's the way all these groups work. And they all want to keep the money and drive Mercedes and have nice houses. They want gated communities and they want all this under the guise of freedom and all this craziness, right? So I'm telling you, the fact is, more than likely, I was right in the first place. We just got totally duped. New World Order shit is going to happen. But it's not about overthrowing Trump. Trump's running the shit with Hillary, with Pelosi, with all these people. Keep in mind. Opposite Illuminati run by Obama bitch. Oh, they're saying QAnon is the group trying to overthrow. Okay, QAnon is a far-right conspiracy theory. No, QAnon isn't a group, though. QAnon isn't the group. QAnon's a theory that this group exists to overthrow Trump. Yeah, it's all insane. That's what I'm saying. But you know what's not crazy? If they wanted a new world order, they've done it. They've done it. It's done. They're getting rid of police. See, follow this. Once they get rid of police, do you know who polices things? Do you guys understand who will be policing things? The National Guard, the military. We will become a military state. But you didn't think about that, did you? Defund the police! Defund the police! Bunch of fucking suburban kids. I won't say white kids, but I did see way more white kids walking to this protest than Latin kids. A ton more white and Latin kids and Asian kids than anything else going to these protests. But, watch this. You defund. And they're like, white kids like, yeah, we need to defund. His own girlfriend looked at him like, I hate you so much. But he was sitting there going, yeah, we need to defund the police. They have a $3 billion budget. He was way off on everything he said. He didn't know what he was saying. And he's like, meanwhile, his dad's probably a cop, probably a businessman. He just looked like such a snowflake. But he's saying, defund the police. He doesn't get that if you defund the police, they enact, and what's available is the National Guard, is the military. And we become a military state like everyone wants. And that's ignorant, you see. And I swear to God, I feel like I'm losing my hair. I know I have my middle part from before when I had my braid, but I don't know, whatever. The point I'm trying to make is, like, if you really think about it, watch what's going on and know there's a middle ground of obvious. Like, I'm going to be getting out of California. I'm done. I might leave the country, but I'm definitely done. It's too scary. It's not okay. It's not normal. Like a fucking razor burn. Anyhow, I'm going to get out of California because it's not right. It's not a good place to live anymore. But again, I don't think people like Trump and his groups and all that are good people. Again, you want a great person for president, you fucking vote Burger 2020. Then you have a president that will care about people. You have a president that will take care of people, that will let people go back to hunting and gathering that want to, that'll go back to farming that want to. I'll give land away to people. Anybody who wants a free acre of land somewhere that they're going to farm and work, they can have it. As long as they farm and work it, they have to stay on the land. Like, you know, they can travel, but you know what I'm saying? It's not for business, it's for home. If you're, you know what I'm saying? Like things like that. People want to live. You have to provide that in this country. You have to provide that in this world. And so that's what I'm saying is I think it's time for a lot of us to get out of here and let it fall. Like let it all fall. And I don't mean, like I would love to go get like 20 acres and just say, here's the deal. I got 20 acres. Everyone gets a half an acre. So you got 40 families that are going to come move into this little town here, right? Any race, any gender, anything. Everybody just has the right to be. There's no parades, there's no anything, but nobody has, no discrimination, no nothing. None of it. Just anyone who wants to live amongst everyone, come here. You see? But how would it work? In that, would our government let us have it? Would we be considered a cult? And then would somebody try to run it? Because see, if you just had like 20, 40 acres, even 100 acres, you just let it be. But if you let it be, what if somebody's like being disgusting and everything's polluting and someone's got to tell them? Lenny Bruce said it best. He said it best. He goes, because you know what? You can't, the saying, he said, something about it, you can't shit where you eat, obviously is the saying, right? And it comes from, he said, that there had to be laws where you can shit and where you can eat. You can't do them both together because it's disgusting, right? If people shit where you eat, then they got to get in trouble. Because if you just keep going, don't do it, they'll keep doing it. So then all of a sudden I got to enact police and I got to do this and that, and then they got to make decisions. So if we just went back to hunting and gathering, we'd be fine. That's the only solution, and it can't be done. Anyway, guys, thank you. I appreciate myself mostly. I love me. I love some of you. I love what's going on right now. I love the possibilities for change. I hope we get a game plan going. I want to see my grandma again. She makes me so happy. She was such a good woman. We got to make a game plan for real change. Not let the kids have their fun and everything else, but us adults, us older people, we aren't, you know, I made a statement. I said, I'm second generation, not racist, not prejudiced, not chauvinistic, not homophobic. Yeah. Yeah, actually, that was me. But, you know, I'm not homophobic, I'm not transphobic, nothing. I'm second generation. And I say that because my dad wasn't any of those things. He didn't bring me up with any of those things. Like so many of these protesters, their parents, Megan Rapinoe, her dad's a fucking racist, Republican, hardcore Republican, racist, anti-LGBTQ piece of shit. So is his mom. So is her mom. But she sits at dinner with them and protests everyone like them. She's pissed about everyone like them, hates everyone like them, but sits at dinner with them. And I say, fix your fucking home. Fix your fucking home, people. Fix the rotten people in your home, and you'll fix, and the world will fix. If you just fix your fucking rotten home, if Megan Rapinoe worried less about everything else and first fixed her fucking home, then worry about how everyone else acts when your home's acting right, when your own parents act right, then start worrying about other people. Yeah, maybe. Maybe, you know? Yeah, I know, I paused for a minute. The point I'm making is, so many people aren't keeping it real. So those of us adults who are second generation, see, she's first generation, not racist, not chauvinistic, not homophobic. I'm second generation. My father was never homophobic, never racist, never anything. He was one of the coolest fucking dudes ever. My mom wasn't either. Both my parents, when they broke up, dated people of many different races. I mean, my mom had like a couple boyfriends that were like Latin, black, white, whatever it be. The guy she married was Polish. I mean, that was the letdown, you know, in that sense. But yeah, I mean, she dated dudes of all different. We never thought anything. It wasn't like we were cool with it and we were all hip. We just didn't think anything of it. The only thing that was ever said one time, my grandma said to me one time, she goes, David, this one right here, I love her. She would tell you, she was so not racist. She hired one of the first black women into the law office where she was working. She wasn't a lawyer, but she worked at a law office as a single mom. But she was so proud of herself. And she would tell me, you know, I hired David. I told you I hired this woman. I brought her in. They didn't want her. I insisted on it. I'm not racist. Look, the only thing is you got to be careful because the Mexicans got guns and the blacks got knives. My grandma would tell me it's not a big deal, David. You just know that with some of the guys that they carry the knives and the guns. And I go, Grandma, that's so crazy. Everyone knows the Mexicans have the knives, the blacks have the guns. And we all laughed, but it was a joke in that, come on, Grandma. That's so 1912. But she saw herself as not racist. You see, at least her intention was to not be. But we still called her on it because it was ridiculous. But my dad and my mom weren't at all. They weren't hippies. They weren't peace freaks. See, my dad walked us right through the busing protests back in the 70s when they were protesting busing and all the white people. My dad was 6'2", 350 Brooklyn Jew. He walked us straight through. He wasn't a flower child or a hippie. He saw no reason that anyone couldn't go to whatever school. He saw no reason to keep black people out of schools or busing. He saw no problem with it and saw no reason. And nobody was going to tell him we weren't going to school. Nobody was going to fuck with him. So he walked us right in. But see, what I'm saying is like I grew up second generation. That's what I'm saying is, and it's funny, I made a post like that. I said, I'm second generation. And you think it would have gotten as many likes as some stupid picture where I get 100 fucking likes or whatever? No, it's got like 2 or 3 because people are probably reading into it going, wait, what's he saying? What does he mean? I just mean I was never brought up racist. I wasn't brought up to think racist shit. I wasn't brought up to do racist stuff. Make racist jokes. None of it. I wasn't brought up with any of it. I wasn't brought up being taught how I was brought up around people of all many races. So in my whole life, I was always around people of different races. I was never taught that anyone mattered, whether they were straight, gay, or whatever. So I say I'm second generation, not racist, not chauvinistic, not homophobic, not transphobic, not nothing. I don't care. And it's not for me to care anyway. It's not for me to care. I'm saying I have no problem with any person other than the way they treat me and the way they act toward me or other people. That's all, not who they are. And so that's what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of us that don't feel guilt. We don't feel like we have to make some point or go out of our way or act like we hate white people when we know we're white. Like I'm Jewish, but I know I'm white. Like this is white. And I get that. And I don't feel like I have to go out of my way or give a shit. I'm a special ed teacher. I speak Spanish. I grew up in Pacoima. My kids are mixed. I could kick fucking puppies and get away with it. So I don't need to go out of my way. So when I don't go out of my way, a lot of snowflakes are pathetic, guilt-ridden people who wish they didn't feel guilt like I don't. They feel like they have to say things. Like here, PJ Stansberry is a guy who writes stuff and people take it like it's so atrocious, like it's so horrible. Oh my God, look at the stuff he writes. PJ and his pretend wannabe racist ass, because he's not at all. He's the least racist motherfucking person ever. Shares beds with black men, not in a gay way, but. Oh, let me tell you something. No, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. When this dude says he got the fuck kicked out of him by the cops, he did. He fucking did. He got his ass beat by the cops. It's a true story. That's 100% true. I'm going to tell you that. Now, what's funny, Mimi, is I got cuffed and slammed into a car in South Central LA for looking with when I had my long hair in front of my daughter. I also got yanked out of a car in yeah, I mean, see, that's what I mean is PJ's the kind of guy who says things because his parents said him. That's what I mean. He's first generation, not racist. But PJ really isn't racist. He doesn't even have underlying, so he doesn't filter anything because he doesn't think he should. You see, so PJ just says everything he's thinking. Like me, I'm less than PJ, but I do say what I'm thinking. So a lot of people get like thrown back because most people don't say what they're thinking. Well, that's what I mean. See, like when you say the COVID-19 racism toward Asians, see, this is the thing, is I know it existed, but nobody I know or in my family thought one thing about Asian people. I made the joke that I said because of the media. I said because of the media, this is when COVID first came out. I said, look, I don't even believe this COVID bullshit is real. I go, but because the media is so powerful, I'm still wearing a mask and I'm mad as hell at Asian people. And the joke was that our media made some idiots, some psychos, mad at Asian people, but it was on purpose. Oh, the Wuhan. Oh, the Asians did it. And then, well, but again, at one point, Italians were getting beat up randomly. I mean, see, you have to understand, Mimi, like Japanese people and white people are exactly right here. Everyone can pretend whatever they want. Japanese people have massive power in the world. And in Japan, they are the oppressor. They oppress, I believe it's the Taiwanese. So keep in mind, the Japanese are right here with the Europeans, not white Americans, with the Euro whites, the real whites. They're right here. The Japanese and them are right here, just so you know. Oh, we're talking about someone else. Oh, the 28 guy. Yeah, no, I don't know. I was talking about PJ. I'm sorry, PJ, the guy I'm talking about, he did get the shit beat out of him by the cops. I've personally been harassed by when I had my hair, when I lived in Pacoima, when I had the shaved head. I would get harassed by the cops all the time. It's unbelievable. If you knew, this is what I'm saying, is if you go to the Ozarks, if you go to the Redlands, if you go to places where it's met fucking poor ass white trash people in San Bernardino, they are fucked with by the cops. They're slammed, they're hit, they're punched, they're kicked, they're killed all the time. Kelly Thomas. We can go back and forth with a million people. The fact is, we could go back and forth with who's hated more. We could go back. I could tell you how, look, Koreans hate this group, Japanese hate this group, these people oppress these people. You're in a country where it's predominantly white, they're going to be the oppressor to begin with. But if you go to countries where it's predominantly another race, they're the oppressor. They don't act wonderful. They're not kind. Well, but that would be saying then that white privilege only exists, though, in America. In Japan, Japanese privilege exists. See, the Japanese people get treated better. In Korea, the Korean people privilege exists. They get treated better than the people they're oppressing there. See, the Taiwanese people will tell you that Japanese privilege exists. The Latin people, the Salvadorian people will tell you that Mexican privilege exists. The Mexican people will tell you that Spanish privilege exists. These are all privileges relevant to where they live. So I understand what you're saying, but it's educationally ignorant to believe that there's any privilege in anything but money. The only privilege that exists is the money. The only privilege that exists in race is being connected. Connected. White privilege only works if your whiteness is connected to powerful white people. If you're not connected to powerful white people, do you see how, okay, see here, let me show you what privilege is. Jalen Smith and all the Smith kids for Will Smith, they all get acting careers. That's privilege. They're privileged. They get those things above other people who are probably better actors but don't get those gigs because they're not connected. The privilege is being connected. So if you're not connected, you can't be privileged. It's that simple. Like, you've lived an incredibly better life than me growing up, Mimi. My dad was shot to death. My mom was an alcoholic whore. I grew up in Pacoima. You can't possibly think you didn't grow up having a better life than me, a more privileged life than me. Are you thinking, because I've seen, like, I believe I'm correct, and you grew up okay, like decent money, right? You have to realize you grew up with more privilege than I had. I had 2 strikes to life. I didn't do them all. I wasn't a bad person. Oh, never mind. I didn't know you were a foster child. Well, who adopted you? Foster or adopted? Tell me the truth. Foster or adopted? Because I'd have killed to be adopted. Because I read your thing. I thought you were adopted, not foster. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, then I stand corrected. I was on my own at 14. Go ahead. Next. Okay, were they poor? Did they have money? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's what I'm asking. Is like, were they poor? Did they have money? It's 16 for me. What do you mean? And what were your foster parents? Were they Asian, black, white? By the way, one of the black activists today said, doesn't matter whether you're white, black, yellow. He actually used the word yellow. Wait, had to move back home to where? Oh, okay. Okay, so you were a product of white privilege. Because they had white privilege and they gave you white privilege. Yeah, it's the card, the white privilege card. No, what I'm saying is, I love you. Yeah, what I'm saying is, if we keep sticking to this whole pretend, yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. You were with the white person you were talking to. You talk about that person was white privileged. She was a hippie, a chemist. She got to go to good school. What I'm saying is, so many. If you realize that there are more poor white people on welfare than any other race, there's more poor white people in this country than anything else. Yes, there are more white people, but if you're going to give reasons, you have to look at it like, do you know what it's like to hear from people all the time how I'm privileged when I've literally never had any privilege at all. Yeah, no, okay, perfect. But I'm saying the fact is, I've not had one bit of privilege in my life. Like, tell me one bit of privilege I could have ever had. Anything that I've ever been given in this life. And I don't mean it in a mean way. I mean, like, because see, people like me wonder that. Like, okay, so PJ, who I was talking about, was adopted by a rich family, a rich white family. He was white, Italian, or he's Italian. He's adopted by a rich Italian family. He had a great life because he was adopted. He is white privileged. He'll tell you he's white privileged. But he doesn't, well, PJ looks like a piece of shit. PJ looks like people like me. PJ looks like white trash like me. He doesn't look like his parents because he was adopted. So he got treated that way. You get treated the way people see you. You got to understand, people get treated because of how they look. See, George Floyd scares people. He shouldn't. He was a sweet dude. But he scares people because people are ignorant and racist. People look at me and tell me all the time, you know how many people have told me, oh, I so thought you were going to be racist or this and that. I go, so you prejudged me, thinking I was a prejudger. Good for you. People are ridiculous. That's all it is. People are just ridiculous. The whole white privilege thing and stuff, it's so played out. It's so tiresome to people like me who've busted their ass their whole life, who've been on their own their whole life. I'm not saying there isn't white people who are privileged. There are. And I'm not saying in this country, it isn't, I'm not better off being like, okay, as a poor person and stuff, not me in particular, because I look like white trash, fucking troublemaking, meth using, fucking racist dude. I get that. Like, not me, but most white people, even if they're poor, are better off than most other races. It's totally true, except Japanese and most Asians. That's the thing. See, that does bother me that Asians want to jump on board something they're not a part of. You don't see a lot of too many Arabic people or Jews really jumping on board this thing. Going, oh yeah, us too. We all got to be the Irish. I've said this before. Asian people in this country, Arabic people, Jewish people, we all have gotten to be the Irish, Latin people. We've all gotten to come here, be treated like shit, work for slave laborers, get crapped on, get called names, everything else. And then we've gotten to assimilate and come up. Black people were never allowed to assimilate, never, they were kept down on purpose. They were literally kept down. I know, but yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I personally, the same way you look at white privilege, Mimi, I look at a lot of Asian people as trying to jump on something they're not a part of. Asians have been imperialistic forever. Asians have been rulers forever. Asians used to rule the world, but they've always ruled. They've always had monarchies and all this stuff. They haven't been overrun or overthrown. Even in World War II, when we beat Japan, they still maintained everything and kept their whole country. Yeah, they got put in internment camps. So did any white people in Japan at the time. They were all put in internment camps. The white people that worked over there and stuff, and the ones that were, there were people killed here and people killed there. I thought what happened with the internment camps to the Koreans, to the Japanese was horrible. It was a blight on this country. At the same time, they did the same thing in those countries to Americans that were there. There's so many sides to these stories. And that's the problem, is we're so ignorant to, we keep letting rich people divide us. See, there you go. In the sense that, yeah, but they were paid. Even if they were paid, so were the Irish. The Irish were right next to the Chinese, working for the same fucking slave laborers, being treated like shit and dying on the railroads. The Jews built the pyramids, yes, but all of them got to come up and be the dicks next. All of them got to come up and make money and be rich and assimilate and move in to different communities and stuff like that. Yeah, for Jews, for Koreans, for Asian, or I'm sorry, for Jews, for Asians, for Latins and stuff, it was hard. It was a struggle, but we were able to come up and get in. Black people have been denied the opportunity to even assimilate, to even come in. And oh yeah, no, it was horrible. Yeah, I don't think there's anyone alive right now who doesn't think that was horrible. What went on there was horrible. Their property, everything was gone. Totally. Like the Indians. Totally. You know, they burned Jewish towns. They burned down Irish towns. Like literally, they don't tell you about all this enough. I'm a teacher. Read, like, check out it. Totally. This stuff is all true. That's what I'm saying. All of it's true. Everything you're saying is true. And then the Japanese were allowed to assimilate and build up and become part of the communities and become leaders and take over Pasadena. Black people have never gotten that opportunity. That's what makes it all different. That's the big difference. They've never been given the opportunity. Black people suffered slavery where their families were torn apart and they don't even get to know who their real relatives are. If people would just understand that, if people would understand that one thing, what makes the plight of the Black person different from everyone else, and everyone's got to stop jumping on the backs of the plight of Black people, is that their families were destroyed. Their lineage was taken away from them. And they never were given the opportunity to come back. Well, we do know, obviously, the truth was they weren't taken. There was a trade with tribes, and each tribe would sell off their slaves or their captives, their slaves. They'd sell them to the people on the boats. See, because nobody at that time was really going to go on and take all the slaves. Now, were slaves taken? Yeah. But back then, people were pirated, shanghaied all the time. People were taken all the time and sold into slavery. White, black, everything. Latin, Arabic mostly. Somali, actually, funny enough, Somalis and stuff were some of the biggest pirates, and they would sell in people. They would take people and sell them. So yes, the myth was that that white people went over and took slaves. That's not what happened. There was a whole trade, and everything was traded with kings and everything else, and chiefs and tribe leaders and all this stuff. And black people were fucked. The black people who were sent over, who were the captains, that were fucked over, horrible. And the black people in this country, that's what I'm saying. Africans don't deserve shit. I don't think Africans deserve any part of what's going on or reparations or anything. But black people in America do. Black people in America have been treated horrible. Black people in America are the people that have been oppressed and everything else. But they're it. That's it. Everyone else has gone through the same shit the Irish went through. Everyone else went through the same shit the Irish went through and were given the same opportunities the Irish got. And I say that because the Germans came here and were really the rulers and the dickholes. Everyone had to kind of succumb to them. The English and the Germans. The English and Germans came here and they ruled everything. They didn't have to deal with anyone. So the Irish were the ones that came and were treated like dogs. Everyone else was treated like dogs. They got to assimilate and get the chance to become part of communities, make their own communities, everything else. Black people have never been, look, the best they've ever been given is South Central LA type places. They get the shittiest fucking neighborhoods. And they're not even considered black areas. They're just considered a neighborhood that's predominantly black because it's bad. You say, but they're not given. Like Little Armenia. We don't have Little Black America. You see, so what I'm saying is that people really look at what was taken away. That black people are the only people that have this complaint. The rest of us do get treated shitty by cops. The rest of us do get fucked with. None of us, not Latin, not Asian, not white, not Arabic, get killed or treated shitty by the cops at the same rate that predominantly black men, teenagers to young adults, get treated. 16 to 35 black males get killed and abused by the police at such a high rate that it needs this protest. They're being hurt, killed, and abused at such a high rate, the protests are needed. This isn't happening to everybody else. So if everybody jumps off the backs and we do support what's going on without having to hate another group of people, this is police reform. If we focus on what it is and what we're trying to do. And then if you want to take that money for reform again, don't take it from the police. Retrain them. Get new police. But don't let them make this a military state. You know, and yeah, no, I don't know where they're writing that slavery was a choice. I believe they were saying they were forced into it. Now, again, there's always the insane people that, you know, on all sides that have to take it so far and make it so crazy. And that's the shame. Me and my daughter were watching the protests, and she says to me, she goes, so what did this guy do that everyone's so upset he's dead? I go, no, it wasn't that. It's what's going on. You know, I go, it just happened to be in this case, this person not only did nothing wrong, but didn't resist, didn't do anything, and was just killed. And it just was too much, and the world's blowing up over it, and they should be. But let's focus on what it is. We got to cam up the cops, cam up the streets, cam up everything. Reform, re-idea. Stop all these machines that are already biased toward black people. That you've already said there's certain machines and certain tests and certain things that are already biased toward black people. And you're still doing them. So just stop them all. That's simple. If we start realizing that rich people have been fooling us forever, and that Donald Trump and Nancy Pelosi are probably 69ing right now and laughing their asses off. I want everybody to take that as their last visual. I want you to picture Nancy Pelosi and Donald Trump. He's like, China, Nancy, I want to see your China. Bring me your China. Put it on my face. I'm going to smoosh you around. And then she's going, look, Donald, look, I'm going to tell you right now, okay? You're going to go down on my muff and you're going to eat that thing hard. You're going to eat my muff hard, Donald. Hard, I'm going to tell you. I don't want you disgusting. Now eat my muff, Donald. That's how I am.